You've got one life, one shot, and every single morning you get a choice. You can either hit snooze and keep replaying the same tired patterns, or you can wake up, shake it off, and decide you're done living on autopilot. Success isn't an accident. It's not luck. It's not handed to you. It's built day by day, decision by decision. And there are rules. 9 of them. 9 rules that will change your life if you commit. Rule number 1, stop waiting for motivation. Motivation isn't coming. Action comes first. You don't need to feel ready. You need to move. The second you move, your brain follows. That's how momentum is built. Rule number 2, own your mornings. Don't give your power away to your phone, your inbox, or the world's noise. Take the first 30 minutes of your day for yourself. Read, write, move, breathe. That time sets the tone for everything. Rule number 3, keep promises to yourself. When you say you'll do something, do it. Every time you follow through, you're proving to yourself that you're trustworthy. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. Rule number 4, chase progress, not perfection. Success is about stacking tiny wins, not waiting for the perfect moment. Do one thing today that moves you forward. That's it. And if you do it every day, watch what happens. Rule number 5, surround yourself with energy, not excuses. Who you spend time with matters. If people around you are stuck, negative, or dragging you down, you're going to sink. Choose people who push you, who call you out, who make you better. Rule number 6, learn to say no. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't matter, you're saying no to your goals. Protect your focus. Protect your time. You can't do it all, but you can do what matters. Rule number 7, get uncomfortable. Growth lives on the other side of fear. Every time you feel resistance, that's the signal you're heading in the right direction. Lean in. Do the thing you're avoiding. That's where your power is. Rule number 8, practice gratitude. Success without gratitude feels empty. Every day, stop and remind yourself of what you already have. Gratitude grounds you, fuels you, and keeps you hungry for more in the best way. And rule number 9, don't stop. Ever. You will fail. You will fall. People will doubt you. You will doubt yourself. But the only thing that separates the ones who win from the ones who don't is that they keep going. They refuse to quit. So, tomorrow morning, and every morning after, you look in the mirror and remind yourself, you've got one shot at this life. One. Make it count. Success is built in the small choices, the discipline, the courage, the rules you choose to live by. Wake up, show up, and never, ever stop moving forward. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear: motivation is garbage. Motivation is a trap. You've been taught to sit around and wait for it, like some magical lightning bolt that will strike you and suddenly make you want to go to the gym, write the book, start the business, or finally change your life. And you know what? It's never coming. If you keep waiting for motivation, you will keep waiting for the rest of your life. That's why you feel stuck. That's why nothing changes. You're waiting for a feeling that doesn't exist. Think about the mornings when you don't want to get out of bed. Your alarm goes off, and what happens? Your brain immediately starts negotiating. 5 more minutes. I'll work out tomorrow. Today's not the day. You hit snooze. You roll over. And then what? You feel like crap because you know you just broke a promise to yourself before your day even started. That's not because you're lazy. It's because you're relying on motivation. And motivation never shows up when you need it. Action comes first. Always. The second you do something, no matter how small, your brain wakes up and follows. That's how momentum is built. You don't feel like going for a run. Put on your shoes. Just the act of tying those laces flips a switch in your mind. You don't feel like writing that report. Open your laptop and type 1 sentence. That's it. Your brain will catch up. Action drives motivation, not the other way around. This is where most people get it wrong. They wait to feel ready before they act. But let me tell you something: you're never going to feel ready. Ready is a lie. The only way to create change in your life is to move before you feel like it. Do you think successful people feel like showing up every day? No, they don't. But they've trained themselves to act regardless of how they feel. That's the difference. Your feelings are not a compass. Your feelings are designed to keep you safe, to keep you comfortable, to keep you stuck in the same patterns you've been running for years. Your brain loves predictability. It hates risk. So when you even think about doing something new, speaking up in a meeting, asking for that promotion, starting that business, your brain will flood you with doubt and fear. What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if it doesn't work? And if you wait for the fear to go away before you act, you'll never act. The secret is simple: act while you still feel the resistance. Do it before your brain talks you out of it. That's why the first 5 seconds are everything. You have about a 5-second window between your instinct to move and your mind killing it with excuses. Use those 5 seconds. That's where your power is. Count backward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go. Stand up, pick up the phone, walk out the door, start typing. The second you take action, you break the cycle. I'll give you an example. Let's say you want to start working out, but you hate it. You're lying in bed and your alarm goes off at 6 a.m. Your brain immediately screams, nope, too tired, too cold. I'll do it tomorrow. Here's what you do: don't think, don't negotiate. Count down from 5 and move. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Throw the covers off, put your feet on the floor, and get moving. That tiny action is the start of a chain reaction. Once you're up, you're more likely to put on your workout clothes. Once you're dressed, you're more likely to walk out the door. Once you're at the gym, you're going to move your body. And once you've done that, guess what? You feel motivated, not the other way around. This applies to everything. Want to start a business? Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Take one step today, make the call, do the research, sketch the idea. Want to fix your finances? Stop waiting until you feel disciplined. Open your bank account today. Take one action. Want to write a book? Don't wait for inspiration. Sit down and type one messy, ugly paragraph. It's not about massive leaps. It's about micro actions. Tiny, almost laughable moves that compound into momentum. Success is built on these micro actions, stacked day after day, until suddenly you're in a completely different place. You're healthier. You're wealthier. You're more confident. You're successful. Not because you were motivated, but because you acted when you didn't feel like it. So, let's cut the excuses. You don't need motivation. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need the perfect moment. You need to move. You need to stop listening to your feelings and start trusting your actions. Because when you act, everything changes. Tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off and you don't feel like getting up, remember this: you're never going to feel like it, and that's okay. You don't need to. You just need to move. Count down from 5, throw the covers off, and start. Do it before your brain talks you out of it. That's how you take control of your life. That's how you build momentum. That's how you succeed. Action beats motivation. Every time. Your mornings are the launch pad for your entire day. The way you spend the first 30 minutes after you wake up determines whether you're in control of your life or whether the world is controlling you. And right now, let's be honest, most people wake up and immediately hand their power away. What's the first thing you grab when you open your eyes? Your phone. You scroll through emails, notifications, texts, social media. And before you've even had a chance to think, your brain is already hijacked by other people's priorities, other people's opinions, other people's problems. That's not owning your morning. That's surrendering it. Here's the truth: if you don't own your mornings, you're never going to own your life. Because mornings are where your momentum is built. They're where your focus, your energy, and your mindset are set. If you start your day in reaction mode, responding, scrolling, consuming, you are programming your brain to be reactive for the rest of the day. That's why you feel scattered, anxious, behind. It's not because you're bad at managing time. It's because you're giving the most valuable part of your day to the wrong things. So what does it look like to own your morning? It looks like putting yourself first. Not in a selfish way, in a survival way. It means carving out time to strengthen your mind, your body, and your focus before the world gets a piece of you. And it doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need a 2-hour routine with green juice, yoga, journaling, meditation, cold plunges, and chanting under a crystal. Keep it simple. Keep it doable. But for God's sake, make it yours. Here's a rule: the first 30 minutes of your day belong to you. No phone, no email, no social media, just you. Use that time to do something that fuels you. Move your body. Read a few pages of something inspiring. Write down your goals. Sit quietly and breathe. Stretch. Drink water. Anything that gets your mind and body primed. Because when you do that, you set your brain into creation mode instead of reaction mode. You put yourself in the driver's seat. Think about it like this. If you woke up and the very first thing you did was check your email, what you've just said to yourself is, other people's problems are more important than my priorities. If you roll over and start scrolling Instagram, what you've told your brain is, comparing myself to strangers is more important than building my own life. And the rest of your day follows that same energy. Distracted, scattered, reactive. But when you wake up and say, no, my time, my mind, my goals first, you've already won. The rest of the day can throw chaos at you, but you've started from a place of power. Owning your morning isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. You don't need hours, you need ownership. Even 10 minutes done with focus is more powerful than an hour spent in autopilot. Imagine this: instead of hitting snooze, you get up when the alarm goes off. You drink a glass of water. You spend 5 minutes writing down 3 things you're grateful for and 1 thing you're going to do today to move forward. Then you spend 10 minutes stretching or walking. That's it. In less than 20 minutes, you've hydrated your body, grounded your mind, and set an intention for your day. You are already in control. And here's the kicker: how you start your day becomes who you are. If you start with discipline, you become more disciplined. If you start with gratitude, you become more grateful. If you start with focus, you become more focused. Every morning is a rehearsal for the person you're becoming. You can either wake up and rehearse distraction, excuses, and self-doubt, or you can wake up and rehearse power, clarity, and purpose. That choice happens every single day the second you open your eyes. Now, let me be real with you. It won't be easy at first. Your brain will fight you. That phone will call to you. The snooze button will whisper, just 10 more minutes. You will have every excuse in the book. But remember this: if you can't control the first 30 minutes of your day, how are you supposed to control the other 23 and a half hours? The way you start is the way you continue. So if you win your morning, you win your day. And if you win enough days, you win your life. So tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, don't roll over. Don't grab your phone. Don't surrender. Instead, remind yourself, this is my time. This is my launch pad. I own this. Then get up. Do something for you. Protect those first 30 minutes like your life depends on it. Because it does. Because owning your mornings is how you take back control, how you build momentum, and how you create the life you want. Own your mornings. Own your life. The fastest way to destroy your confidence, your motivation, and your belief in yourself is simple: break the promises you make to yourself. Every time you say you're going to do something, and then you don't, you're teaching your brain one very damaging lesson. You can't be trusted. Think about that. If you had a friend who kept bailing on you, breaking commitments, and letting you down, would you trust them? Would you rely on them? No. You'd stop believing a word they said. And yet you do it to yourself all the time. You say, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow. And then you hit snooze. You say, I'll eat better. and then you grab the donut. You say, I'm going to the gym after work, and then you drive straight home and sit on the couch. None of those moments seem big in the moment, but together they're lethal, because each broken promise chips away at your self-respect. Each time you flake on yourself, you're reinforcing the belief that you can't rely on you. And how the hell are you supposed to build a big life if you don't even trust yourself? Here's the truth, self. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's not something other people give you. It's not something you fake by smiling in the mirror or repeating affirmations. Real confidence is built one decision at a time by keeping promises to yourself. That's it. Confidence comes from evidence. Evidence that you say something and then you do it. That's how trust is built. And when you trust yourself, you don't hesitate. You don't second guess. You don't waste energy doubting whether you're capable. You know you'll figure it out because you've proven it to yourself over and over again. And the good news, you don't need to start with massive promises. In fact, you shouldn't. Don't promise yourself you'll run 10 miles tomorrow if you haven't laced up sneakers in years. Don't declare you'll write an entire book in a month if you haven't written a page in 6. Start small. Start with promises you can keep. Wake up when you said you would. Drink the water you said you'd drink. Go for a 10-minute walk instead of skipping exercise completely. Write 200 words instead of promising 2,000. Keep the promise no matter how small, and then keep stacking those wins. What happens is powerful. Each small promise kept builds trust. Each kept promise is proof, and that proof compounds into confidence. You start to see yourself differently, not as someone who talks big and quits, but as someone who follows through. That identity shift is everything. Because when you start to see yourself as a person who does what they say, you stop questioning whether you can handle the big stuff. You know you can, because you've trained yourself to follow through. Now, let's be real. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when you're tired, stressed, busy, and everything in you says, just skip it. It doesn't matter. That's the fork in the road. Because in those moments, you're not just deciding whether to skip a workout or push off a task. You're deciding whether to break your word to yourself. And when you understand it that way, the choice becomes clearer. Do you want to reinforce doubt and weakness? Or do you want to reinforce trust and strength? You'll never feel like doing it every time. That's normal. But remember this, feelings don't matter. Promises do. When you act on your word instead of your feelings, you build character. You build self-respect, and nothing, no failure, no rejection, no obstacle can take that away from you. Here's the secret. Once you start keeping promises to yourself, your whole life changes. Your confidence skyrockets. Your energy shifts. Other people notice, because when you carry yourself like someone who can be trusted, people treat you differently. Opportunities open up. Relationships get stronger. Success becomes inevitable because everything rests on that foundation of trust with yourself. So here's the challenge. Start today. Make one small promise to yourself and keep it. Maybe it's getting up when the alarm rings. Maybe it's taking a walk at lunch. Maybe it's drinking an extra glass of water. Doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you do it. Do it today. Do it tomorrow. Do it again the day after. And as you stack those wins, watch what happens. Watch how your confidence builds. Watch how you stop negotiating with yourself. Watch how you become unstoppable. Keeping promises to yourself isn't about discipline. It's about identity. Who do you want to be? The person who talks about what they'll do? Or the person who proves it every single day? You get to decide. And the decision starts now. Perfection is the biggest lie holding you back. It's the trap that convinces you to wait, to stall, to procrastinate until conditions are just right. You tell yourself, I'll start when I have more time. I'll start when I have more money. I'll start when I'm ready. And you wait, and you wait. Meanwhile, life keeps moving, opportunities pass you by, and the perfect moment never comes because it doesn't exist. Perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. Success is never about doing everything right. It's about doing something, moving forward, stacking small, messy steps until one day you look back and realize you've built something massive. Here's the brutal truth: waiting until it's perfect is just another form of fear. You're scared to fail, scared to be judged, scared that your effort won't be good enough. So you hide behind perfectionism. I'm just being careful. I'm just not ready yet. No, you're stuck. And the only way to get unstuck is to move, even if it's messy, especially if it's messy. Think about it. Babies don't learn to walk by waiting until they have perfect balance. They stumble, they fall, they look ridiculous, and then they get back up over and over until they figure it out. That's progress. And yet, as adults, we convince ourselves that unless it's flawless, it's not worth trying. That mindset is poison. It's stealing your future. You want to know the difference between people who succeed and people who don't. It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's not resources. It's that successful people take imperfect action again and again. They don't care if it looks messy. They don't care if they fail. They care about forward motion. They understand that action creates clarity, and clarity creates momentum. Perfectionism kills momentum. It's a trap that keeps you polishing, tweaking, planning, and overthinking instead of doing the one thing that actually matters starting. Let me make this crystal clear. You will never think your way to success. You will only act your way there. So what does progress look like? It looks like writing one page of your book instead of obsessing over the perfect first chapter. It looks like going for a 15-minute walk instead of waiting until you can carve out an hour for the gym. It looks like launching the product with version 1, not version 20. It looks like making the phone call, sending the email, recording the video, even if it's awkward, even if you stumble, even if you don't feel ready. Because here's the thing: progress compounds. Small wins repeated daily create unstoppable momentum. You start stacking little victories, tiny actions that feel insignificant in the moment, but add up into a tidal wave of change. And here's the secret nobody tells you once you're in motion: perfection doesn't matter. You'll improve along the way. You'll learn, adjust, and get better by doing, not by waiting. Let me hit you with this: perfection isn't about high standards. It's about fear of failure. And if you let that fear run your life, you will stay stuck forever. You have to decide what's more painful: messy progress or a lifetime of regret. Stop overcomplicating it. Pick one thing you've been avoiding because you're waiting for the perfect time. Then take a step today. Doesn't matter how small. Doesn't matter if it's ugly. Just do it. And then do another tomorrow. That's how you win. Remember this: nobody's watching as closely as you think. Nobody cares if it's perfect. People care if you show up. People care if you're real. People care if you're consistent. Perfection won't inspire anyone, but progress will. So here's the challenge. Trade in the fantasy of perfection for the power of progress. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Start now. Start messy. Start scared. But start, and keep starting every single day. Because when you commit to progress over perfection, you free yourself. You stop waiting. You stop overthinking. You start living. Progress builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds success. That's the formula. And it all starts with one step: today, not tomorrow. Progress over perfection. Always. If you want to change your life, you've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Period. Because everything you want, every goal, every dream, every version of yourself you're chasing, lives on the other side of discomfort. Success doesn't hang out in your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Let's get real. Comfort feels good. It's safe. It's easy. It's Netflix and takeout. It's staying quiet in the meeting. It's scrolling your phone instead of working on your goals. But comfort is also the place where nothing happens. No growth, no breakthroughs, no transformation, just the same patterns, the same excuses, the same results. And if you're honest with yourself, you already know that. The problem is your brain. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, not successful. It wants you to avoid risk, avoid stress, avoid discomfort. It's trying to protect you. So the second you think about doing something bold, speaking up, applying for the promotion, starting the business, having the hard conversation, your brain screams, "Nope, danger, too risky," and floods you with doubt and fear. That's not a sign to stop. That's the sign you're on the right track. Discomfort is the compass. If it makes you nervous, if it stretches you, if it feels scary, that's where growth is. That's where the magic happens. Think about the best things in your life right now. The job you love, the relationship you cherish, the skills you're proud of. None of those came from staying comfortable. They came from stepping into the unknown, from trying something new, from facing fear head on. Here's the kicker: discomfort never goes away. The bigger the dream, the bigger the discomfort. You don't outgrow it. You get stronger at handling it. You train yourself to lean into it instead of running from it. And the more you lean in, the more unstoppable you become. Think about going to the gym. Growth happens when you put your muscles under stress, when you lift heavier than you're used to, when you push past the burn. It's uncomfortable, but it's also how you get stronger. Life works the same way. You grow by putting your mind, your skills, your courage under pressure. Discomfort is the weight you lift to build the life you want. And here's something most people never figure out: discomfort doesn't kill you. It feels intense. It feels scary, but it passes. Fear is temporary. Regret is permanent. 5 minutes of discomfort can change your entire life. Asking for the raise, walking into the gym, hitting publish on your idea, saying no when you usually say yes. 5 minutes of courage opens doors that comfort will never unlock. So, how do you train yourself to embrace discomfort? You start small. You do one thing every day that makes you a little uneasy. Talk to a stranger. Take a cold shower. Try a workout that challenges you. Share your opinion when you'd usually stay silent. Each time you do, you prove to yourself, "I can handle this." And that proof builds resilience. Eventually, you stop fearing discomfort. You start seeking it. Because you know that discomfort equals growth. You rewire your brain to see fear not as a stop sign, but as a green light. This is where I need to go. This is the path forward. That's how leaders think. That's how winners think. So let me hit you with this. You have two choices in life. You can choose comfort or you can choose growth. Comfort gives you easy now and hard later. Growth gives you hard now and easy later. Which one do you want? Do you want the short-term relief of staying the same, or the long-term freedom of becoming who you're meant to be? Tomorrow, when you feel that hesitation, when fear shows up, when your brain says, "Don't do it, it's too uncomfortable," I want you to hear my voice in your head. That's exactly why you should do it. Lean in. Step forward. Say yes. Do it scared. Do it uncomfortable. That's how you grow. That's how you change. That's how you succeed. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you want one, you have to let go of the other. So stop chasing easy. Start chasing the uncomfortable, because that's where the life you want is hiding. Get uncomfortable and watch how far you go. Let me tell you something right now. The single most important factor in success isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's persistence. It's refusing to quit. It's deciding, no matter what, that you will keep moving forward. Winners aren't the smartest people in the room. They're the ones who simply never stop. Here's the truth: life is going to punch you in the face. You will fail. You will be rejected. People will doubt you. You will doubt yourself. You will feel exhausted, overwhelmed, and tempted to throw in the towel. And that's the exact moment that separates the people who get everything they want from the ones who don't. Because most people quit. Most people give up right before things start to shift. Most people let the first no, the first setback, the first failure convince them that it's over. But not you. Not anymore. You're going to understand that failure isn't final. It's feedback. It's data. It's a lesson. Every single setback is pointing you toward a better strategy, a sharper skill, a stronger version of yourself. And if you don't stop, you can't lose. Let that sink in. If you don't quit, the only possible outcome is eventual success. Think about every story of greatness you've ever heard. It's not about someone who had a straight path to the top. It's about someone who got knocked down again and again, but refused to stay down. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Oprah was fired from her first television job. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter ever saw the light of day. Every single one of them had reasons to quit. They didn't. That's why we know their names. Now, I'm not saying persistence feels easy. It doesn't. Sometimes it's brutal. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it feels like you're walking through mud and nobody sees the work you're putting in. But that's where greatness is forged. That's where resilience is built. That's where you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses, tougher than your circumstances, and more powerful than your doubts. Here's the mistake most people make. They overestimate what they can do in a week, but underestimate what they can do in 5 years if they never stop. Success is a long game. It's not about massive overnight wins. It's about consistent forward motion, day after day, year after year. Tiny actions stacked relentlessly until momentum takes over and results explode. And let me be crystal clear, persistence doesn't mean doing the exact same thing over and over when it's not working. Persistence means adjusting, learning, pivoting, improving, but never quitting. It's about being flexible in your approach, but unshakable in your commitment. Here's the question you need to ask yourself. How badly do you want it? Because if you really want it, you don't stop. You don't stop when it's hard. You don't stop when it's boring. You don't stop when people doubt you. You don't stop when you fail the first, second, or 100th time. You don't stop until you get there. And you know what happens when you adopt that mindset. You become unstoppable. Doubt can't break you. Fear can't hold you. Failure can't define you. Because you know that as long as you keep moving, success is inevitable. It may not come on your timeline. It may not look the way you expected. But if you refuse to stop, it has no choice but to show up. So, tomorrow when you hit a wall, when you feel stuck, when you wonder if it's even worth it, remember this: the wall isn't the end. It's the test. It's asking, how bad do you want it? Are you willing to keep going? And your answer better be yes. Because your future, your dreams, your life are on the other side of that wall. Never stop, ever. Take the hit. Learn the lesson. Pivot if you have to, but keep going. Because persistence beats talent. Persistence beats luck. Persistence beats everything. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to be the fastest. You don't need to be the most gifted. You just need to be the one who never stops. Never stop. That's how you win.